Hello guys, welcome back. So in this video tutorial, we're going to continue, but then we are going to design the profile page. Okay, so when you go here, you can see we have just an empty page. Okay, with just the word profile page here. Okay, so what we are going to do is to design the profile page. This is the code for this white background and then this text. Okay, so here's the code. But then we are going to design the profile page today. And the reason why I'm shifting from the database side to the design is because I got a lot of mails from people and messages on WhatsApp that people want to know how to connect the app via Firebase instead of the PHP, and some people also want to know how to connect it via PHP. Some also other databases. But then if I want to do, all the databases side by side, then this video will be very long because is this a big project that we are building and it's going to take time. So what I want to do is to just shift since the majority is on Firebase. I'm going to shift and then go to Firebase. Okay, so we will change the whole database. From this PHP to Firebase, and then we will connect our app to it. So currently, this is what I'm going to do. Focus on the design, and then when we are done with the design, we go and connect the app to Firebase. Okay, so let's do the profile page. Okay, so here's the image for the profile page. This is exactly what we are going to design. Okay, so when we look at this, we can see that the widget, the profile, this image, this text, they are all in a column form. Okay, the profile, is also in a column. This is also in a column. This is also in the column. So we will need a column. Okay, and then we will have our text in the column as a chart. Okay, and then we also have this. If you look at this, okay, we treat this as one, and this we will need a row, okay, because the container for the image will be in a row, and then this one here will be a column in a row because we are having the name, the number, and then the edit button in the column structure. In the vertical line. Okay, so let's just go ahead and then design it. So we know, let's just remove this. Okay, and then go ahead with the scaffold widget. Okay, and then we can go ahead with the body, and then we know we need a column for this. Let's quickly do that. Okay, column, and then column master children. Okay, we can just go ahead. Okay, so now we have it updated. We can go ahead and then have our test widget. Okay, we know we need the profile there, and then after the profile, we need this row, okay, for the container. Okay, I'm not seeing the changes on the. Okay, you can see the profile is up there. So what I'm going to do is we can't put a pattern on this, okay, but we can also decide to surround the scaffold with a pattern, but I don't think that's okay. So what I'm going to do is copy this, cut this code and then wrap the whole thing with a container. Okay, and then the container will have a chart. Now we paste this code inside, and then I think now we can decide to put either a padding or a margin. So what I'm going to do is put yeah, let's do padding. Okay, and then the padding we are going to do edge insert dot symmetric. Okay, so that we can focus on the vertical and then specify, let's say 30. Okay, let's see where we can get that. Okay, it's still at that place, so let's specify like 40, or let's just go ahead with 50. Okay, you have the option to either surround the scaffold rigid with a pattern. Okay, and then you can just go ahead with that, but then I want the body of the scaffold to have a container. Okay, and then do that. So you can just choose what you want to do. So let's just go ahead. Let me just focus on the design now. Okay, so we have a row and then we have these two text and then the button here. Okay, so we are still in the color. Okay, you get me? So let's go to the row, and then the row also has some children, and then in the children we know we need a container for the image. Okay, and then we can just specify height of, let's say, 100. Okay, and then a weight of 100, and then we can also define the box decoration um of the container. So the decoration will help you design the container that you have, okay, in terms of radius and all the color and other design, shadow and other. So we can go ahead with the box decoration. Okay, and let's specify a color for now. Okay, red. Okay, and let's see what we get. So you can see we have this. Okay, you can see we have the red color. So what we want is a circular container like this. Okay, so that we can put our image inside. So what I'm going to do is to specify the border radius, and the border radius is circular, and then we have 100, so we can now go ahead with 50. Okay, and yeah, so we are specifying the radius half. The radius should be, if you want the circular circle. Okay, if you want the circle, you can just go ahead and then surround the s- I mean specify half. The radius should be half of the height and then the width. Okay, so we have this one, and what again do we need? Okay, we need a box shadow. Okay, and then we can specify a box shadow here. Okay, and then inside the box shadow you can specify the blur radius. So the blur radius is how much the spread of the shadow. Okay, you see what I mean? So we can also specify the offset of the shadow. Okay, and then the offset we can specify the x axis, which is the horizontal, whether it should shift to the right or to the left. Okay, the shadow should shift to the right or to the left. So when you give it a negative value, it's going to shift to the left. If you give it a right um a positive value, is going to shift to the right. Okay, so let's say and this is when you specify the offset. Okay, here's x and then here's y. So s, we just want, let's say, 0. Okay, that means we don't want to move it to the left or to the right. Okay, and then on the y, we can also, the y is for the top and then the bottom, whether you want to shift to the top or the bottom, concerning the shadow. Okay, so let's just specify like 4 here. So that means I want it to move to the bottom, right? Okay, and let's specify a color for this. Colors the block. I can go ahead with this one. Let's see what we got. Okay, you can see the shadow because this one is just black 12. Let me just go with the black and let's see what we get. Okay, so you can see the shadow move to 4. Okay, down. Then when I specify this to, let's say, 8, you can see it will just shift down because we are on the vertical axis, which is the y. Okay, so I can just go ahead and then specify this like to be 5.0, and this one should move to the right small. Okay, you see, so it depends on how you want it. You can just change it anyhow you want it. And then the color to, let me just go ahead and look for a lighter color. I think this one is okay. Okay, but then I don't want this. I just want 0 and just to be 4 or something. Okay, so the spread radius, let's see how the spread radius work. Okay, let's say 2. You see, so I was talking about how the not spread radius, sorry, the blur radius. So it depends on how the shadow spread. Okay, so the higher it spreads, then it reduces the shadow, the thickness of the shadow. Whatever. Okay, so we can just go ahead and make it 3 also. I think. That'll be okay for now. Okay. So when we look at this, we have, I think, container is small, so we will increase the size, and then we have to put the image inside. Let's just go ahead and make it. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Let me just change this to 120. Okay, 120, and then this one to also 120. Okay, and then if you change it, you have to change the value here. You see, so here is supposed to be 60. Okay, because now you have 120. Half of 120 is 60. Okay, and now as we have this, we can decide to put our image inside. So the child of the container should be our image. Okay, so image dot asset. And this time I'm taking it from my, I think I have this in my asset images, and then breakfast. I'm just using that one. JPEG. Let's see. Okay, so we have our image inside, but then we have to take the color off. Okay, I don't need the color, so now let me just take the color out. Okay, save it. And now we are still having this. So I think what we can do is to just specify the fitness. I mean the fit of the, let's see, does boss fit or cover. Okay, let's see what we get. And still I don't know why. So there's a problem here. Um, Instead of making it a chart, okay. There's one mistake I'm doing here. Instead of making it a chart, let's save. Let's comment that one. Okay, and instead let's come in here. Okay, I think inside the decoration. Inside the decoration, where is the decoration? What's the decoration? Okay, we can also specify, I think, image. Okay, so instead of specifying the image as a child, we have to put that one inside here. Sorry about that. But this one doesn't just accept image; it accepts decoration image. Okay, and we have to take this one out. Decoration image, and let me just take everything out. Sorry. Um, let's just take everything out and let's see what is accept. So this will accept the image, and we can go ahead and say accept image. Okay, and because we are taking it from our asset here, that's why I'm specifying the asset image. So suppose you have the image from, if you are fetching the image from a network, then you can go ahead and say network image. Okay, that's where you can change it to network image. Okay, but then we are taking it from our asset here, so asset image, and we can also specify the fit here now. um no, it's not here. Anyway, let me, okay, so the fit is outside. Okay, sorry about that. Fit cover. Okay, so now we have our image inside. Okay, what again do we need? Let's check. So we are still in the row, and then we need a column in the row for the text, and then this, and then the button. Okay, so let's quickly do that. Let me just clean this code. Okay, and inside the row here, row. Okay, the children here. So after this container, we need a column. Okay, and we also have to specify the children here, and then we can go ahead with the text. So we know the first one is this, so let me just enter my name here. Which one belongs in? Manson. Belongs in this. Okay, I mean this. At least you don't have to write the whole name there. And then we can also look for the number. Okay, so that one to be a text. And let's just go ahead, paste this one there. Okay, and we can just go ahead. Okay, so guys, this is my real number. You can WhatsApp me anyway, and then save it. Okay, we have that one, and then the last one is the button. So okay, quickly, let's just do some container here. I'm just going to use a container quickly and give it a height of 40. Okay, and then sorry, a width of, let's say, 100. 100 is too much. So, and then we can go ahead with the decoration here, and we can go what's decoration. I don't know if I have a widget button here. I don't have a button, so later we'll copy this code and then save it as the inside the widget. I just want to hurry up with this code, and then as we have this, we can just go ahead and specify. Let's just go ahead and specify a color for it, so that we know what we are dealing with here, and then save. Okay. Good. So I think the size is okay. So we also want to specify a border radius, okay, and then this time we don't want it to be circular, but then we also I mean we don't want it to be totally circle, okay, but then we can just go ahead and add some let's say 20. Let's see how 20 will look like. Yeah, we want something like this. So let me just reduce the height of this one to 30. Okay, and then save this. Yeah, so we want something like this, and what we want, we can just go ahead and then put in the child. Oh, sorry, I'm outside the container. We can just go ahead and put in the chart and then put the text inside, and then we can say edit. Okay, and we can also specify the style of the um, we can go ahead and specify the color. Color is dot white, and sorry, colors dot white, not color dot white. Colors dot white. Okay, and then we have that one. We can also specify the font size, and 16.0 is okay. But then we can see that our text is outside, so we can just go ahead and take this whole thing here, okay, and then put it in the center. So center child, and then put our text inside the center. So now we have our edit inside that. So we can see that we only have a border around it. We don't need a color. I mean a few color. So we can just go ahead and where's my code? Here the code. Okay. So we can take this color out here. Okay, and then specify border. Okay. When we specify the border, we can go ahead and say box border. Sorry, box border dot L. Um, box border dot I've even forgotten what I'm box um border dot O, right? Okay. I've even forgotten the think border dot O. Oh yeah. Okay. You can be keeping codes inside your head. Border dot O, and then what we are going to do is okay. So we already have the border. Okay, because we specified the border dot, but we are just going to change the color to colors blue. Okay, and now this one should also be colors blue, because now we actually have, okay, so we have that. We can just reduce the size again to 25. um I think that's okay. So now we are left with the alignment of the so when we look at this, we have to, this and this are aligned at the same place, so we consider they are in the column and we want them to align. So um since we want everything to be in the center, okay, I'll just make the column here. Okay, where is it, where is um the cross axis alignment dot start. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, how that do, and then let's also add first the I mean the, yeah, let's add a padding to the horizontal. Okay, horizontal to 20 or maybe 16. 20 is okay. Yeah, so now we can just go ahead and also start the test here, start, and then we can specify this, and As we have that, we can also specify the font size, and let's say 32 is okay. And we can also go ahead with the, I think that's okay. Maybe font weight, the weight, okay. Font weight dot bold, bold, okay. So now we have the space around this. We also need a space between this, okay, and then space here. So we can just go ahead and also specify size box here, between the profile and then the row. Okay, size box is supposed to be sized box, okay, and then we can specify the height to be 20.0, and that will be okay. Well, okay. Now we want a space between this, okay, and we also want the column. I mean this and this to be on the same. So let's go ahead here, okay. So in the row we can say the cross axis here should also be start, cross axis element or start, so that the letters can also shift up, okay. Because if you look at this, I think it's up, it's not really up, it's really like center. Okay, let's say to center. Let's see. Okay, it's still at the same place anyway. That's okay. And then we also have to change the style of this. Okay, test and we can also specify the font size here to be 22.0, and let's see what happens. Up. Okay, 22.0 here, and 22.0 is too much. Okay, let's go with something reasonable here. I think 16 is okay for all. Okay, but then we want a space between, so let's specify some size box here, and we can specify 10. It's okay. So we are going to copy the same thing and put it here. Okay, and then save this one too. Okay, so we can see that this one is gray, and then there's a lot of space before the button. Okay, so we can also specify star here, test star, and then we can go ahead and specify colors dot gray. Sorry, colors dot gray. Okay, and then we now have to put a space in between here. Okay, but then you see we have the cross axis alignment, which is supposed to be when you are in a row, all children in a row are aligned horizontally, okay. Yeah, align horizontally. So when you go to the cross axis alignment, then that means you want to inside a row, then it means you are going vertical, okay. That's why when we said cross axis alignment start, okay, it tried to move up, okay, because that's the start. I mean, that's in the cross axis alignment, is in the inside a row is in the vertical alignment, okay. So we we want to make sure that this side, okay, the text also align, and then the buttons also align. So we can just go ahead and say main axis alignment, which is the horizontal, because now we want to move this to the left side. This will align on the left, so we can go main axis alignment dot start, and let's see how it looks. It's still the same, okay. It's still the same. Why is it being the same? Because this one, let me see. Oh, okay. Sorry. There's a column here for that. Okay. So here, let's leave that one there. But then let's come into the column here. Okay. So the column must have a cross axis alignment. Say cross axis alignment. You understand why I'm using a cross axis alignment for that, because that's the opposite of the thing. So we want to go to start. Okay. And then when we save here, yeah, so that's exactly what I want. So now let's put a size box here for this. Okay, size box. And we can also specify a width this time because we are inside a row, so we need a width, not a height. And we can say 30. It's okay. So yeah, I think that's exactly what we have. Okay, 30 is too much, so we can make it 20, and then that will be okay. So let me just make it 20. Okay. So now we have this and that. Okay. Now we also have to do this, but then I'm going to do that in the next video tutorial because I think this video is like more than 20 minutes now. Mhm. So I'll stop the video here and then continue, but I'm going to push everything today. Okay, so don't worry.